Hello, everyone. This assignment is an expansion on my critique of Providence Public Library's digital navigation services, wherein I criticize the library for providing a service that requires patrons to travel to a neighboring city. That caused me to question if the public library is truly bridging the digital divide and if they are serving their intended community. Services such as digital navigation services are designed to assist patrons who may lack digital literacy skills, internet access, or confidence with technology. Public libraries play an important role ensuring equitable access to information as more essential services like healthcare access, education, and job applications move to the digital world. However, simply offering digital navigation or literacy services does not guarantee that the people who need them most are able to access them. There are several barriers that can limit participation and access to these programs, such as lack of awareness, language barriers, transportation challenges, and even scheduling conflicts. Because of these barriers, libraries can unintentionally be serving patrons who are already comfortable using library services rather than those who are most affected by the digital divide. This raises important questions about equity, access, and how libraries evaluate their programs' effectiveness. To explore this issue, I used an outcome-based evaluation approach supported by a logic model and a mixed methods strategy. I considered both quantitative data, such as attendance, usage, and demographics, along with qualitative data, such as patron feedback and staff observation. The logic model helps frame how the program is intended to work, starting with inputs like staff, funding, and technology, moving to activities such as one-on-one support and group instruction, then to outputs such as participation data, and finally to outcomes such as increased digital literacy and increased user confidence. The most important part of this project is how assessment is used, which I've illustrated through the data assessment cycle. The cycle begins with collecting data such as attendance, demographics, and feedback, then moves on to analyzing to identify patterns such as which groups are participating and, more importantly, which groups are not. Libraries can act based on this analysis by making actionable changes such as adjusting outreach, offering more multilingual support, and partnering with close proximity community organizations. Finally, libraries can reassess to determine if those changes improved access and participation. This cycle emphasizes that assessment is not just about collecting data, but about transforming it to continuously improve services. Key findings include that digital navigation services often reach individuals who are already engaged with the library rather than those who are most excluded digitally. Barriers such as lack of awareness, language accessibility, and scheduling limit participation. One positive is that the services themselves are effective, especially one-on-one support. Moving on to my recommendations, they are for libraries to take a more equity-focused approach to program design and assessment. This would include expanding partnerships and collaborations with community-based organizations that are in close proximity to the library itself, as well as offer services and programs in those locations. Another recommendation would be to use multilingual outreach strategies and incorporate user feedback and apply continuous assessment practices to ensure that the services align with community needs. These recommendations would help shift these programs from being just available to being accessible. To conclude, digital navigation services are a critical way that public libraries support equitable access in an increasingly digital world. However, simply offering these services isn't enough. Libraries must intentionally assess who is being reached and who is not. By using data strategically through a continual assessment cycle, libraries can better align their services with community needs and ensure they are bridging the digital divide by reaching the populations they intend to serve. Thank you very much.